but then I've also had to deal with death as well from such a young age. It was probably in that same month I went for a 5K run and I did a PB. Got back in the car, sat in the car, and I just burst into tears. Like the emotion was so much, just going, I can't believe what I've just done after a month on this drug. I'm taking on a 100 miler. So for anyone that can't do that conversion, it's 160K. It's definitely been a roller coaster, but it's been one that I probably wouldn't take back.
I want to dive into the part of the podcast that is kind of a consistent rolling theme. It's 5 questions and 5 answers. For some people, they'll be listening to this as the trailer, so they can go ahead and then go, hey, I love this. I'm going to go jump into the full episode. Or for the others who have been here with us already for the course of the full episode, this will be the beautiful conclusion to the conversation that we've had. So I want to roll in relatively rapid fire, but it's always a little bit loosen up for interpretation how rapid you get. The first question is, if you could recommend one book or one podcast to someone listening, what would that be?
You know what? At the moment, I'm actually reading a couple of Ant Middleton's books around mindset, and I've found that it's something for me that I'm working on myself, is getting around the mindset and having that confidence within myself. Yep. So yeah, definitely his books, which go a lot into self-confidence, also into the family of how to be a better parent. You know, I'm 36, got 2 daughters. I've got to show how to be a dad, and I've got to be the best version of myself for them.
Of course. I read his first book, First Man in Port Douglas at the start of the year. Mate, I loved it. I'm not a huge reader. I'm more of a listener. It's a book I couldn't put down, man. Every morning I'd get up and I'd walk straight to a cafe to sweat my ass off in 30-degree heat at 6 a.m. and just read his book, and I loved it. So I'd recommend that too to anyone listening. The second question is a routine or ritual that has formed part of your day today that you feel like sets you up for success.
You know what, honestly, I've been working at home now for quite some time due to COVID, and my work's been really good with that. In all honesty, at the moment, and it's going to probably shift as I continue, but for me, it's literally having a coffee. I know that sounds really basic. I've got a espresso machine at home, so I grind my beans and I've got to make the coffee, froth my milk. I get my cup, I'll sit on the couch, everyone's left for the day, and I'll just sit there with it and probably just reflect. You know what? And sometimes it's enough.
You know, I think sometimes the most powerful rituals or routines are the simplest ones, because we're very simple beings, but we tend to make life pretty complex. And
we do. And look, I've gone, hey, maybe I should try some meditation in the morning. Everyone's gone. And I'm going, it's just not for me. I've tried. I love it. Every second Saturday, I'll go down to a group down at Henley Beach here. Do it. Sometimes just a nice hot coffee on my couch. That's all I need.
Mate, that's me on my balcony in the sun of a morning. I just sit there like a bloody lizard and soak it in. Mate, it charges you. My third question is one that this one could be a little bit more open-ended. It's especially for someone like you or I can imagine that challenges may be similar, maybe not. One challenge, or I guess what's the biggest challenge in your life that's required the most growth or resilience to overcome?
I've got lots, but you know what? Honestly, I think stepping away from the fitness side of things, I'm actually going to say probably being a dad. You know, it is probably the biggest challenge that I've ever had to step up and do, especially being a dad of two girls. They give me a run for my money, man. And it's learning how to be a father that I can be that someone who they can come to me and show that they can come to me with their problems. And that's testing. They test you, you get angry or you say no. And then my wife's pointed out to me and she's gone, why did you say no? And I'll go, you know what? Purely because I probably just didn't want to deal with it at the time. And maybe I need to step back and think and go, say yes. There's parenting, but also make it so that they can come to you as they get older. That's probably been my biggest challenge, and that's an ever-growing challenge. That's not going to stop now. They're only 9 and 6.
Yeah, and I guess it grows as they do, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And that's all I can probably do is just keep being the person I am and growing with them.
And I know you'd be able to feel what I feel here when I say, and I've said this, I sound like a broken record on the podcast so many times, but as someone who is not a parent, but someone who is a child of the two, in my opinion, most incredible parents in the world, I have so much love and admiration for the two people who brought me up into this world, my mum and my dad, and then also my younger sister. And without them, I guarantee I would not be the human being I am today. So I know the effect of great parenting because I'm a product of it. And to hear you speak of your kids and, where I've seen you speak about it before on social media and to have the sense of understanding for life and the knowledge and the appreciation you have for every living moment, mate, I think this is going to do wonders for your two girls. So I'm excited for them because they will get so much from you as a father.
Best feeling.
Mate, I can imagine. I'm looking forward to it one day, but I'm not ready for it quite yet. So
trust me.
I'm
it's hard work.
26. Yeah. I want to dive into this fourth question here, which usually is the second question, but I got them mixed up because,
that's right.
I like to flow with it. There's no reason for their particular order. I guess I'm just a man of habit and ritual until today. This question is a skill you'd recommend mastering that significantly improves your life.
Skill, mate. That's a really, really good question.
Yeah, it could even be an attribute.
Yeah, you know what? Probably listening.
Yeah, I've heard that once or twice on here, and
yeah,
I need to get better at that.
So do I. But listening to someone, I guess this kind of come back as well to the kids. Actually, listen to them. I've probably actually got a bit of a bad habit of going, what their issues are. They've had a crappy day at school. They're year 4 or year 1, and they've had a crappy day at school, and they come home and tell me something, and I go, whatever, that's not an issue. So then I got to step back and I go, no, listen, because for you, that's not an issue. For them, it's the biggest problem in the world.
Mm.
And I then transfer that into talking to someone like yourself or even someone who's older than me, and just listen. And sometimes listening to someone can literally be saving someone's life. I've listened to people on social media who I don't know, and they've just reached out with CF and gave a bit of my life is shit right now.
Yeah.
And you listen to them and they'll go, thank you. I need to get that off my chest.
Yeah, and we all need that from time to time, right? And I think that's part of being empathetic, is understanding that what someone needs today may be what you need tomorrow. And 100%. That skill set, whilst sometimes very challenging and very difficult to do, because we all love to chat. And as a chatter, as someone who loves a conversation, I'm definitely trying to get better at the art of listening and learning from it.
Oh, look, I can talk someone's ear off for hours on end. I think the hard thing about listening, though, is not interrupting and trying to give your point of view. It is. Like, as much as you want to go, you want to say, no, this is what I think. No, hold on, step back, listen, just listen. And you know what? Listening to someone else, he can teach you something.
Of course. And you know what? And that's the one thing I love, mate, is I was saying just a few weeks ago, my actual next podcast guest after you is a guy who I met at a Gang of Youths concert last Saturday night. He was sitting next to me and his story was incredible. And we just connected so well, me, him, his wife, and my mate. We're just having the best chat. And it's just being open to listening to someone new, and you'd be surprised what you learn. So I echo your answer.
Fantastic.
Mate, the last question I have for you, my favorite of the 5, and a real opportunity for you here in the closing sort of minutes of this podcast, is one message that you'd like to share with the world if you could encourage them to act on it.
You know what? My favorite one at the moment, and I've used this since my ultra last year, and I said it, I think I pretty much said it before, is life is short. Go out and enjoy what it is you love doing. That's probably the biggest thing I can tell anyone, especially someone who does have a chronic illness. You know, already witnessing the people that I love passed away, and now going out and achieving what I didn't think was possible. Anyone can get hit by a bus tomorrow, so it's not even in relation to having a chronic illness. But go out and just live your life. Yeah, we've all got responsibilities, but pick something. And you know what? Even if it's sitting down and enjoying your cup of coffee, life is short. Just do what makes you happy.
Mate, you're a credit to your hard work, your commitment, your courage to continue to overcome this challenge that is cystic fibrosis that so many know too well. Mate, you're an inspiring character, not only for me, but I can imagine the thousands living with CF and the millions without it. I'm so encouraged by your efforts and what you're about to take on over the course of these coming months, and I'll be watching closely and cheering you on from the sidelines, not from the trails. But mate, I'm such a fan of yours, Kyle. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And I'll ensure that for everyone listening to and watching this, all of your details and social links are in the show description, in the notes, so they can go ahead and support you on the journey. Mate, it's been a pleasure.
You're a legend, mate. You're a legend. Thank you very much for this. Appreciate it.
Pleasure's all mine. I'll talk to you soon.
I look forward to following your journey as well, buddy.
Mate, pleasure. Take care, guys.
Take it easy.
Thanks for listening.